Well, I've always believed that in order for a reader to experience a story with a sense of surprise and suspense, the writer has to be there first. He or she has to first, as he or she is composing the story, feel surprise and suspense. Now, doing an outline very rough can be helpful so you have a basic map of how you get from here to there, from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. It would be like I tell my students, basically it's like saying I want to drive from Seattle to Portland. Okay, that's the route I'm going to take, I-5. Well, you know that when you drive that distance, things are going to happen and you're going to see things on the side of the road that you never expected to happen. So an outline does not lock you in to, like something in cement that you must follow. There will be surprises. But here's the trick. You start out a story, this is again the way I used to explain things to my students, in the realm of possibility. Your character can be tall or short. Your character can be male or female, right? Live on the East Coast or the West Coast. Your character can have a traumatic background or a perfectly rosy background. You choose. You choose the details for your character background, history, and so forth. As you choose, you despoil possibilities. So the first part of a story for me is the realm of possibility. Anything you can have for your character, but every decision that you make narrows it a little bit. Once you've narrowed it sufficiently, you get to the second part of the story, which is the realm of probability. Having said your character was born in this city at this time to these parents with this education and has this conflict, it is therefore probable that he or she will attempt to solve the problem this way rather than another way, right? Then that despoils things yet further, and by the end of the story, the third part for me, Act 3, you are in the realm of necessity, whereby everything is happening on the basis of all the decisions you made in Part 1, possibility, Part 2, probability, and it's like the writer isn't even writing the story himself or herself. You are following through logically everything that's been set up. That's why writers say it's like the character took over. It's because the character, as you have defined him or her, indeed, can only act in a certain way without violating the rules you set up at the beginning of the story. So there's some truth to the cliche, but I like to kind of walk a reader or a student through that sense of, okay, the realm of possibility, anything, then probability, and then necessity. So you start out big like a funnel, and then you narrow it and narrow it and narrow it till the very end. So that's the basic shape, I think, of your traditional rising conflict to resolution story.